Hello, hello. I know it's been so long, but even now I'm like taking a break eating my what are these? The teriyaki meat snacks Jack Links. For one whole bag, it's like 34 grams of protein and what almost 300 calories, so it's like a meal. But the good thing is, like, you can always snack on it too, so good protein. Just hate to see what it does to my digestive tract in the long run. But yes, so welcome. Today is the 13th of December, or 12th or 13th of December. It's been that hectic. It really has been. And my stress levels, I don't think I'm really noticing it that much, but I have noticed a lot more gray hair, so my body is probably reacting. But yeah, so let us get into it here. Pardon the chewing because I just finished painting the deck and now I'm inside here waiting for my husband and my son to come back home so we can paint inside. And yeah, so as a recap, if this is not making sense to you, I found out that my job will be moving us to another state in like T-minus 4 months. And we need to get the house ready to go on the market, sell it, done with it, because we're going to purchase another one out there. So in the meantime, just trying to, excuse me, just trying to keep up with everything as far as post-operative of gastric bypass. And things have been very well as far as the surgery side goes. Maybe not so much with the, prepping the house and everything, but at least with the surgery, fantastic. I've had a few days here and there where I felt really tired and lethargic and just I couldn't really get up a whole lot. But I think I spat some of the teriyaki stuff. Sorry. But yeah, so everything has been going quite well. I am 3.5 months post-op, and December 25th, oh, Christmas. Yeah, it's like what, in a week and a half, 2 weeks away? Holy crow. But yeah, so in 2 weeks, I will be exactly 4 months post-op. Now, I had an appointment with the doctor last week, but because of everything that's going on, I had to reschedule, and it's for Monday. Although I think I'm going to have to reschedule yet again because this week coming is going to be jam-packed of goodness and fun and hectic chores and everything under the sun. So I just might delay that another week as well, unfortunately. But the last time I went to go see him, it was, I believe it was the beginning of November. And yeah, November 3rd. And the nurse took my weight and everything. The blood pressure's down. I mean, so many things like to reconfirm that this was the way to go. I didn't think, I never was the one to have high blood pressure. It does run in my family. And I never really had an issue with it. But as my weight was increasing, the blood pressure was kind of going out of whack along with my weight. So I noticed like every time I went to the doctor's office, they took my BP and it's like, oh, your diastolic, the lower number is a little higher, or this time the systolic, the higher number, the upper number is higher, and it would just be fluctuating to the point where I said, yeah, I really need to do something here. And the weight surgery, the weight loss surgery helped tremendously. I mean, I'm running around with my kid and hopefully soon to be kids next year, but cross that bridge when we come to it. So yes, you have to forgive me. My mind is all over the place right now. So yes, the rundown. I had gastric bypass, like we're only 4 minutes in here, what? So I had gastric bypass in August this year, 25th. My highest weight, cringe when I say this, but 330. Now, I am 6 feet tall, so the 330 does stretch out, and it doesn't look like 330, but it really, I felt it internally. So I did go on a pre-op diet prior to surgery, and I lost about 25, 26 pounds. Woohoo, start in the right direction. So after that, the surgery weight was 307, 305, around that area. I know I mentioned in my earlier videos, it's like, I haven't even hit a baker's dozen of videos yet. But I hope to kick that up, ramp that up too, especially with my cooking, because I found some fantastic recipes that are done. Anyway, I totally digress. So yes, I had, the surgery weight was like 305, 307. And I felt really good because I'm like, oh, I'm getting closer to that 200 mark. Hooray, finally, again. And after surgery, I must admit, I did have a little bit of the doubt that did creep in a bit. And it was immediately after surgery, simply because I had edema in the stomach. So now for the sleeve, you have a long, slender tube, so the pressure builds up, or can build up. Well, in the bypass, you have a little tiny stomach that's what, as the nurses would tell me, it's the size of this 2-ounce container. And of course, it can stretch, just like sleeve. Oh, in time, it can stretch, and you can go back to what you were before. So that's why it's very important to make a healthy change in what you consume. And it doesn't have to be, like what you think, oh, it's disgusting because you've been eating one thing for so long. That's not the only answer. That's the good thing. That is the good thing. Every now and then, pizza, a certain way, can really hit the spot too. But yeah, so on my 3-month checkup, 3-month checkup back last month, the nurse told me that I hit my 25% goal mark. Yay! So 25% goal mark in 2.5 months. So effing fantastic, baby. Now, I have a confession to make. I have not been in a gym, quote unquote, per se, like killing it at the gym. I'm gonna take a half hour, an hour, or 2 hours for some people go in beast mode and killing at the gym. Has not been me. It really hasn't. This Bowflex behind me has been looking at me. It really has been. Once in a blue moon, I'll have time to get on it. And that's the thing, time with me and my schedule, because I commute about an hour and a half one way every day to work. Because I drop my son off at school, I go into work, and by the time I get into work, I can leave the house at 5 o'clock and I don't get into work till almost 7. On a bad day. On a good day, maybe a quarter to 7. So, and you can imagine the time that I leave, and when I get back here, I don't feel like doing jack shit. I really don't. I really don't. So it really takes a lot for me to push myself to go a little bit further. But the good thing is, at work, I do tend to walk a lot. There's some days, like when I'm programming, I'm really into my code, and I will couch monkey the few hours just staring at the code and hashing things out. But that doesn't happen all the time. Most of the time I'm up, I'm walking. And for some days, that's the only type of exercise I get. Because by the time I get home, it's 2 hours to do everything and sleep, repeat. So, but with this move coming, it will so change for the better. It really will. So that's why I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, so basically, to rewind, I remember where I started from. Damn it. Yes, I did. So to rewind, like I said, the nurse said I hit 25%. And it did not include heavy exercising, like with the gym. My exercising up until this point has been the following. 1, walking. Whether it be at the mall, and it's not too much of a swift pace of what I call Manhattan walk, the Midtown walk, but I do a lot of that at work, for sure. When I'm at the mall, sometimes I'll do that as well. But for the most part, swift, fast-paced walking, nothing like slow, take your time, because it really doesn't do anything, you know? And besides, you want to get to where you want to get it done, and not use too much time and get little result at the end, you know? It's like nobody wins with that. So yeah, I would do that for exercising. Also, the Just Dance videos online, especially me and my son, we would do those all the time. We'd sit there and dance. My husband would join in every now and then. And I have the exercise ball, which I've slowly started to incorporate into what I do, simply because the days when I get home and it's somewhat early, like 4 or 5 o'clock, then I'm like, oh, woohoo, I've got 4 hours to do things in a day before I have to sleep and repeat. So I'll do a little bit of dancing, or I'll do some Gilad, which, oh my God, the guy is amazing. Freaking-tastic. Gilad. If you can find him on YouTube videos, Gilad. If you haven't known about him, know him. He will work your behind out. He really will. And even my husband's like, I don't understand it. Why are you so into Gilad all of a sudden? Like, well, when you do his exercises, you'll know why. You will feel it for days. You really will. But it's fantastic. And I've been doing it on and off for a few years now. Maybe if I was consistent with it, I wouldn't need the surgery. Just a thought. But like I said, he's very good. He is extremely good. So YouTube videos, again, if it's free, then why not? You know, and of course, if you really like him, then I'm sure you can find somewhere to get his whole stack of DVDs and what have you. So yeah, that's been my exercise up until this point. In fact, my dog is sitting right here. She's waiting for me to go take her out for a walk. And I really want to as well. Even if it's a short walk, 15 minutes, half-hour walk, it's something. Because I'm upstairs, I'm painting, I'm cleaning. That's work. It's a bit of exercise. But if I can increase it that next step and do the walking, even better, even better. And of course, the Bowflex would be like top for the day. Yeah. Hopefully I can. Hopefully it's Sunday and I don't know, Monday is going to start a long week. So yes, to recap that whole little section there, I told you all that to let you know that I still hit the 25 mark goal for the weight loss within 2.5 months. And I really have been very good watching what I eat. I mean, even now, I still have, I really want to say this, well, take it with a grain of salt. I have been eating what some of our nurses call no-no foods. And it's not a switch that you can easily turn off. So if you were really into bread and pasta and rice beforehand, you know, there are going to be times you're going to crave it. You really are. Or if you're cooking for your family or someone else is cooking it in your family or at a restaurant, it's going to like the cartoons where the aroma goes like this and it hooks the person in the nose. You really get that sensation. You really do. And as the cook for the family, when I make that stuff, I will make a plate. And this is what my plate typically consists of. My nurse or my nutritionist would always tell us, protein first. Whatever you eat, whatever meal you eat, protein first, because you will get full quicker. And when you are full, you will look at that plate and say, I'm good, and walk away. You really will. You really will. And sometimes you might get that urge like, oh, but this is so good. And you take one more bite and you wish you wouldn't. You wish you would not have done it. And your body let you know. Yeah, that can happen too. But just know that's something that you got to work on. That's all. Same here. That happens to me every now and then. Excuse me, especially during Thanksgiving. That happened. But yeah, so basically my plate would consist of a piece of protein the size of my palm. And the nutritionist told us that would give you your recommended protein dosage for that meal. So I try to do like the lean chicken or pork, rarely. Fish, not so much of a fish eater. Tuna fish out of the packs or the can, I can do. Spice it with olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic, mushrooms, sliced onions, chives. I can do that, no problem. And um, in fact, real quick, for lunch one time, I had that. It was a cup of tuna fish. So I had like 25 grams of protein, I believe. And I sprinkled with just like a pinch or tablespoon worth of shredded cheese. And I had the bagel bites. Yes. Now, see, that's another thing. My doctor, even at 2.5 months, my doctor had not cleared me for solids. But I I hate to say it, but I feel that coming for him to say that to me. But also, I'm trusting my body. I'm understanding what she wants and what she can handle as opposed to what she can't handle. And the bagel bites, yeah, that's a solid. But what I do, and I've only had it one time, but what I did was I took tiny bites from it and I made sure to chew everything well, mushed it up along with the protein. And when I did that, I was good to go. I really was. And like I said, that was the lunch. And if I felt hungry afterwards, then I would actually take a small apple, half the small apple skinned, and I dipped it into peanut butter. And the apple by itself, for me, it knocked me the hell out the other day. I really felt woozy. But I noticed when I have it paired with peanut butter, I'm okay. And that's one thing, that's one food that they said, the nutritionist said that they still can't understand. They don't have any explanation for is that peanut butter is not one of those sweets that make you dump. And maybe a doctor has found the solution, found the other reason. But as of a few months ago, our nutritionist said they haven't come across anything yet. So yeah, that was the lunch. So back to the dinner. Like I said, the protein, size of the palm, that gives you your close to 25 plus grams of protein. And then I have vegetables, like half of that. Then I'll take the other, basically 2 palms, okay? One is all protein. The other one, I split it. Half is greens, whatever type of greens. And the greens I've been having for vegetables, I should say, is either sauteed carrots, green beans, broccoli. I haven't had cauliflower yet, although I got some outside, but I'll probably have some later. And those would consist of my vegetables or salad. I can have that. And the other half of the palm would be my pasta or my rice or pilaf or had couscous. And the two things that I really enjoy, which I'm surprised, is couscous and oh, good Lord, I forget the name. But it looks just like couscous. And they have a few of them like herbed, seasoned, and what have you over at Walmart. If I can find the name, I'll put it in the description. But that's my meal. And with the protein, like I said, that's first. So I make sure I go through at least half of that protein before I start to incorporate the vegetable in the other side into it. Now, of course, 2 vegetable sides, go for it. Vegetable and the other part as being the carb, go for it. Again, it's knowing your body. Hey, is she not reacting the way, she normally is when you have protein and you're adding something different? So just add new things slowly so you can get reacclimated to it. And yeah, you should be fine. Now, of course, you always speak with your doctors as well to let them know, hey, this is what I'm going to do, or are there any issues you foresee? At least make sure you have an open path, especially of communication in case something does go wrong. You know what breadcrumbs to go back to and find out what the issue was. So that has been the update thus far. And it's 19 minutes. I do want to keep it under 20. I so do. And maybe do a second video in another half hour. But the weight, I have not looked. Although I have noticed that there are a few more articles of clothing that seem to fit better. And a button. So this was after the three-month checkup about a month ago. So I know I'm still losing it. Although my doctor's like, well, let's see if we can go for 15. I was like, I don't think so. Especially if I'm not going to be in the gym really going in beast mode. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And I really would like to, but because of everything that's going on in my life, that can't happen now. The one thing that can happen is moderate exercise, walking, not stretching, but toning. I have toning bands, and every now and then the Bowflex, but also watching what I eat. Like for instance, last night I had the pizza I was telling you about, but I didn't have my cauliflower pizza because I made that and I have a few of them stored in the freezer. But this one I got from Domino's. It's the thin crust. I got cheese and pepperoni on it, not pepperoni, sausage. So I had a piece of chicken, smaller than my palm. I had that along with some of the thin crust. Now the problem is the thin crust, it's very thin bread. So 3 months out, 6 months out, you might find yourself downing a lot of it. And it can be a bit scary because you're like, holy shit. Because I know at one point, that thin crust pizza, I could easily fold it and fold it look like a burrito. And I could eat the whole thing in one sitting. I really could. Now, a regular pizza pie, no, because it's too much bread. It's even for me pre-op, that was too much bread. Now, even at Costco, we had slice of pizza because we were on the road for a while, and I could only get down one slice, not the individual slice that they sell you, which is 2 in 1. No, we got a whole pie, so their slices were actually normal. And I could only get down one without eating the entire piece of bread. And I felt completely full. So I said, oh, I'll be dang, that's pretty damn good. I like that. And that's another thing. I'm really, really liking the fact that I can feel when I'm full and satisfied. That is like, I really must admit, that is like one of the best feelings. Simply because it's like, it seems so minute, like of an issue to bring up, but when you never had that and you now do, it's a big, to quote Biden, it's a big effing deal. It really is. And I feel like as soon as I feel that feeling of fullness and hey, that was really good, I'm satisfied too. I don't care how much is left on the plate. I can pack the rest away for later or another day, and I won't think twice about it. I really won't. Which is very weird. Which I never, to this level, I've never had that feeling even with the lap band. With the lap band, I felt full and satisfied and like, oh, it smells good. And, maybe a half hour later or 20 minutes later, I can snack on a little piece more. And, by the time it's the end of the day, you finish the whole damn thing. Well, of course, depending on what the thing is, it might not be too bad for you. But, what's the point if you're constantly snacking or what they call grazing? So, but yeah, to have that feeling is really good. And after having the satisfaction feeling hit, I could walk up, walk out, do what I need to do. And it's like 45 minutes later, I'm downing like 2 cups of water or flavored water or what have you. It's, yeah. So if you're having any doubts with the surgery, I'd say no. Get your facts, for sure. Know your resources. Get your support group, whether they're local or remote, get your support group. And try to prepare things now. Like Sundays today, this should be my day. And in fact, when I go upstairs, I'll be doing this. Then I will actually be cooking and preparing for the week. Because like I said, it's going to be a way busy week. So I want to get some meals prepared and done. So when I get home, heat them, eat them, and repeat. So, yes. Next video, I'm going to do a quick rundown with the body and everything like that. So, but that is it as far as this update, 3.5 month post-op update. no really TMI issue to discuss. Bowels have been moving just fine daily with that water intake. And even with water, like flavored water is my thing. Whether it's naturally flavored by fruit infused or the little packet, the intake of the fluids help me go. And one other thing, just a tidbit, I have also been eating more turkey chili. Like for lunch, I'll sprinkle some cheese on it. And for the whole can, that gives me my 35 grams of protein. And I can go through the whole can now. It takes me about an hour to eat it. But and there's weird because sometimes I can only go through half and I'm like, I can't do any more. So it's not like, hey, I know I can only eat certain amount of this and certain amount of that. Sometimes the stomach's weird. I mean, you just have to, it's a trial and error. It really is. But and for how long, I don't know. Now maybe folks that have this procedure done and they're farther out in the process, maybe they might know more. But for me, like some days I can actually go through the whole can, and if I'm not, to the point where I feel like an extension of the stomach or feeling too full, I'll allow it because I know that one, it is healthy for me, the one that I have. Two, it is giving me my maximum amount of protein too. So, just like the Jack Links, I'm still not done with the package, and I just want like a few more because afterwards, I'm really really wanting something to drink. So, yes, 26 minutes. And with that, I will say goodbye. Wait till the next one.